Okay, so now we get into the main lessons. So this one is a computational thinking story, and it's all about recycling. So in chapter one, Sam throws his packet out of the window, and Dad slams on brakes and talks to them about, talks to Sam about littering. And Sam's asking, what's the big deal with littering? So Dad starts to explain um, to him like what littering is and why it's bad, and about the three R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. So over here, they are breaking it up into things that we can reduce, reuse, and recycle. So, for example, we can recycle paper. Okay, we can reuse plastic bags. We can reduce by sending our stuff to recycling or composting. So they're coming up with a mind map of the different ways that they can reduce, reuse, and recycle. In chapter 2, they are talking about rules for recycling. So companies that recycle have a rules about different color bin bags and what you can put in those bin bags in order to recycle. And Dad talks about asking them to make a poster to know what to put in each bin. So over here, these are the Second Life's recycling rules. So it talks about the colorful bags and what is allowed in each bag over there. And then what learners need to do is they're going to come up with a recycling algorithm for what happens to different types of recycling. So like asking questions about like obviously the first question would be like, is it a food item or is it an object? Okay. If it's an object, is it made of is it a hard object or a soft object? Okay, soft object. Is it made of paper or is it made of plastic? So they're going to create like a flowchart algorithm or set of rules to help decide what recycling must go into which different area. Then we're going to carry on to chapter 3. So, chapter 3 talks about the recycling company that are going to come and getting the neighbors around. So, they're talking about like, not just recycling their house, but including all the neighbors in the neighborhood. So, talking about going up and sign them out. Then there's this problem that they need to look at. So they're talking about it's easier for houses with roads that connect to share a pickup point. So they're talking about having a few like central pickup points, and that each house needs to have one pickup point. So what's the least number of homes that need to have a recycling point so that all 9 houses have access to a recycling pickup point? So here they're just using a little bit of logical thinking to figure out like what is the least amount of houses to have a pickup point where they can all have their rubbish picked up. Then in chapter 4 over here, they're talking about different kinds of plastics that can be recycled in different ways. So they're talking about the plastic number at the bottom of the plastic items and what it relates to. So obviously there's different types of plastics that can be recycled in different ways. So here are a list of all the plastics, and obviously maybe a teacher can help read through this with the learners, all the different kinds of plastics. And then what they need to do is they need to come up with a, a poster teaching everyone about the different types of plastics and what they can be recycled into. So this is again about abstraction. So it's looking at a big piece of information over here and taking out the parts that are important and using it to create a poster that educates people about the different types of plastic over there. So again, you can talk to them about, making colorful posters or making things that are easy for people to understand by extracting just the most important information. Then chapter 5 over here, they're talking about going to visit a glass recycling plant and looking through how glass recycling happens. So they're talking about how the glass can be divided. Okay, so how the how the machine finds the brown and green glass and the clear glass out of the machine. And then there's a glass jar problem. So we have 63 glass jars to pack into boxes, 4 different sizes of boxes, a 4, a 6, a 12, and a 25. What is the least amount of boxes we can use to transport all the bottles with the boxes all being full? So this is just like a number logic problem where they have to figure out how they could fit 63 glass jars into those into the boxes over there. Then chapter 6. So chapter 6 is talking about like recycling or reusing things. And Nana's talking about how people used to barter. So, uh, uh, teaching them about the bartering system and how you trade one thing for another instead of, buying things at a shop or whatever, you're trading. So, Sam's relating it to how he trades his cheese sandwich for his friend's yogurt at break, and they're talking about Nana says she found a bartering problem in her book. So this over here is another like logical bartering product problem. So Phineas went to the market to try and trade some wood for water. Each stall at the market trades different items shown in the table below, and learners have to figure out what is the order of things he needs to trade so that he can go from getting wood to getting water by trading with the different people. So like over there, like D, he would trade his wood for shoes, and then C, he would trade his shoes for a shirt, and then H, he would trade his shirt for chicken, and then F, he would trade his chicken for water. So that's one way that he can get to water. And that's the last problem over here. So it ends off with this bartering problem and with this logical problem solving.